Welcome to a brand new Taylor Swift era. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, poets. Welcome back to class. This syllabus is very different to what I thought I would be teaching today. This is the most haphazard, unexpected, disheveled video you will ever get from me. I can't believe we're doing this. It is so different to my 2 previous uploads, which were so planned and thought out. And this is just gonna be a jumble of all my thoughts. I have absolutely not had enough time to process this and prepare a well thought out video, but I simply need to talk about this immediately. And so you guys are who I come to. By the way, hi, I'm Ali. What's my intro again? I'm so overwhelmed today. Hi, my name's Ali. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I genuinely don't remember what I say. Anyway, hi, I'm Ali. I make pop culture content. A lot of that is about Taylor Swift because she's the woman that raised me. And today we have entered a brand new era. So by the way, this video, I will be breaking down my thoughts, my responses, the Easter eggs we've missed, what we know about the album so far, and a few of my theories. I actually cannot emphasize enough how much this still doesn't feel real to me. I don't think I've even entered real excitement yet because I'm still so in shock. I was having a little Grammys watch party with my mum and Taylor won her 13th Grammy. And I was explaining to her the significance of this, you know, what the 13s mean. And all of a sudden, my Swiftie senses started tingling and words started coming out of her mouth that none of us were prepared for. So I did actually get my reaction just as she was announcing it. So here is that.
Brand new album. Comes out April 19th.
Shut the fuck up.
It's called The Tortured Poets Department. I'm gonna go and post the cover right now backstage. Thank you, I love you. Thank you.
Such a boring reaction, but I almost couldn't react because I was so in shock. And I don't know if that's worn off, honestly. This is gonna sound so weird, but I genuinely thought for a moment I was hallucinating because it was just so unexpected. She said those words, and I was like, that's not right. That's not reality, I'm dreaming. And then I went on Twitter and nobody was talking about it yet. And because no one was talking about it, I was like, I literally just made that up. That didn't happen. So for at least 13 seconds, I was living in a world where I thought my brain has finally lost it and I'm inventing Taylor Swift albums. But no, here we are. Welcome to the Tortured Poets Department era. That is such a mouthful. I also got my reaction to Taylor winning Album of the Year for the 4th time, which was also insane, and we need to talk about that, but I feel like that is a whole other discussion, but I'll put that in here.
Goes to Taylor Swift.
Oh my god! It's Folklore all over again. I did not think that was gonna happen. Holy shit. She's the only artist to win this 4 times. She's in just as much disbelief as I am right now. Oh my god. 4-time Album of the Year winner, Taylor Swift. Just a quick vibe check on how the world is responding to Taylor Swift's 11th album after the massive, insane success that was Midnights. The Tortured Poets Department vinyl has surpassed the entire first hour pre-order of Midnights, all formats, in less than 25 minutes. I cannot believe that we thought 1989 was the peak of her success. And then I can't believe that a year ago I was sitting here saying, wow, I can't believe how big Midnights is, when she's just gone and done it again. I know we joke about this, but Taylor Swift really is the music industry, and we are so lucky to be alive to witness that. Just right out the gate, I need to take credit for 2 things that I think I was right about. Okay, so number 1, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you saw on my story that I saw that error message on Taylor's website and did a little scrambling and realized that it said red herring, more like rep herring. And so I was like, something is not right. And I knew the rep announcement was not happening at the Grammys. I thought maybe if anything Tokyo, but I was just like, this is not it. The clues that we're falling for, it is in fact a red herring. If you don't know, a red herring kind of refers to a distraction. So the red herring is what's taking your eye, whereas the real magic is happening over here, which is exactly what happened to us. But also when she changed her profile picture to be black and white, I said, that's not black and white. That is not Reputation. It's almost too much of a sepia tone. It was a warmer, lighter, more muted black and white than the rep vibe. And now we have this bad boy. You know, it's a white color scheme. It is more muted. and she's beautiful. Okay, so we need to talk about this name. The Tortured Poets Department is unlike anything we've ever heard from Taylor. If I'm being honest, this sounds like a Lana Del Rey album title. This is obviously her longest album title, with the previous one being Speak Now at 2 words. So this is quite out of character for Taylor, but if my love for Speak Now is anything to go by, this is very exciting. I feel like in time, this album name will feel so second nature and so natural to us, but for now, I feel like I'm gonna need to refer to it as just Poets because it's so long. So colloquially, I will be referring to it as Poets. On the way home, I wrote a poem. You say what a mind. This happens all the time. Your Honor, I rest my case. So historically, society has kind of had this idea that in order to make great art, artists of varying art forms need to really suffer or struggle to make great art. Or in this case, be tortured. And this honestly makes a lot of sense because, as we know, Taylor is the poet of our generation. In my previous video, in fact, I talked about how she was our generation's Shakespeare, and that was in fact an Easter egg for this new album. There are a few interesting things about this title. The fact that this is a department rather than something more poetic like a society or a club makes me think this is very deliberate and that the theme of these songs will fall under that. It kind of feels more honestly like a detective agency, especially when we pair it with what she wrote alongside the album, entering into evidence and the look of those like filing envelopes. It feels like we are about to crack the case and uncover new details about a story that we thought we knew but previously missed. There is the public perception, and then there's the truth. I feel like it is also my duty as your educator on all things Taylor Swift to let you know that Joe Alwyn, along with his 2 friends, Paul Mescal and Andrew Scott, their text group chat was called the Tortured Man Club.
What's the name of the WhatsApp group that we're in? Tortured
Man Club, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You,
Tortured Man, me, you and Andrew.
Which personally, I don't think they were referring to like themselves in like a douchey art bro way, although Jack Antonoff may think otherwise.
Sometimes I feel like everybody is an art bro lately. I just judge them on a hill.
I took that as them referring to their respective characters on their shows at the time. But we can't deny the similarity here. We also have to note that the website sort of glitch error page said DPT. That is of course TBD backwards, aka Tortured Poets Department. Why does this feel like VFD from Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events? I feel like I've been chasing acronyms my whole life. I know we have barely seen a glimpse of anything from this album yet, but I just love the overall vibe so much. I just have this sense that it's going to be a real career-defining moment and a cultural turning point for Taylor Swift, which is so funny and ironic to say after what happened with Folklore and Midnights. Like, how can someone do that again? But if anyone could, it is Taylor Allison Swift. Also, part of me feels quite silly because when you look at her tour schedule, she has 2 months off. I believe it's March 9th to May 9th. There's like nothing there. 2 months either side of April that she can promote this album. Like, how did we not see this coming? Perhaps the most insane thing about all of this is that Taylor said she's been keeping this a secret for 2 years. What do you mean 2 years? 2 years ago, we did not even know Midnights existed yet, and we would not know about Midnights for another like 4 months. Yet Taylor already had this. The rate at which she pops them out, I cannot understand. Her productivity level, it's like she just had a baby and got pregnant immediately after, but like the babies are albums. I can't understand how one person can be so productive. It makes me feel really bad about myself, but also a little bit motivating. And honestly, it's kind of scary because if you think about that, that means she's working on TS 12 and 13 right now. But most importantly, do you guys remember what we found out was written 2 years ago? You're losing me. So we are in for a wild ride. Okay, let's talk about that release date, April 19th. There are a lot of things to be said. April 19th is National Cat Lady Day, which that just makes sense. But best of all, the thing that shook me to my core, April 19th also has a bit of a historical meaning within America. And if I'm not mistaken, it was the date that the American Revolution began, when America declared independence from Britain. America declaring its independence from Britain, aka Miss Americana declaring her independence from her London boy. And if that was deliberate, boy do I love this girl. It's also so insane to think that all those times we saw her going into Electric Lady Studios, she was likely working on this. We took that at, oh, that's so nice, she's working on our little Taylor's version re-recordings for us. How sweet. No, she was cooking up something much bigger. I also just remembered this photo They were holding up 11 fingers, weren't they? And honestly, this fits so well with the style that we were seeing last year. Do you guys remember in my 2023 favorites video, I talked about how Taylor really stepped into a style that resonated so much with me and just that I loved so much and really suited her, and it was giving it girl. It was giving academia. It was giving hot tortured poet. And that just makes me so excited for the new photo shoots and visuals that we're gonna get. God, it is so fun being a fan of an artist that continually reinvents themselves. And I know it's sad that she feels she has to, and probably does have to have achieved this level of success that she has. If we just look at the Grammys album of the year, for example, Fearless, 1989, Folklore, and Midnights. You could not find 4 more different albums, and that is truly part of what makes Taylor Swift so great. Her ability to continually adapt and evolve and make something brand new. So I think we have no idea what is to come. I'm also not gonna let myself get too attached to like the very small amount of visuals we've seen so far, because you guys saw my Midnights reaction and like prediction video where I made a whole vision board or 2 inspired by the photos that we'd seen from that like Midnights photo shoot. And was I right? Not really. I think we all kind of believed that it was going to be like a 70s rock album. So this could literally be a country jamboree. Who's to say? Oh wow. I do need to take some time to mourn the fact that TS11 is not a country album. I didn't think that I would get more country from her, but you know, part of me deep down still hoped. If I'm being fully honest, I think someday, maybe honestly like 10, 20 years in the future, I think Taylor will return to country. I mean, let's be honest, she's the most famous, successful person in the world. That I think she really wants to take that time and like really enjoy the mainstream success of it, whereas country isn't as much so, but she is at her core a storyteller, a poet, as we see. So I do think she'll return to her roots in country music someday. But going off what we know so far, this has Aaron Dessner written all over it, which I'm so excited for because that man is partially responsible for what I believe to be the greatest Taylor Swift song of all time. Isn't it just so pretty to think that this album probably contains my new favorite song? So going off this limited visual that we have, it feels like Folklore's sexy cousin, like very soft, I think very vulnerable and open, but more confessional, diaristic, and personal. Oh my god, congratulations Woodvale truthers. This one's for you guys. I, as a karma truther, will have to wait my turn. From this look, I feel like it will be very stripped back, very personal, much more lyric focused than production, although I do hope we get both. And this might be controversial, but I don't think it will be added to the eras to a set list, right? I think we could hope to see some songs appear in the acoustic surprise song section, but I don't think the eras to a set list will expand to add this whole new album. Although, you guys know what I said about Folklore and Evermore in my eras to a prediction video, so anything could happen. One thing that is really intriguing me is Kelly Teller's Instagram story posts of Marilyn Monroe, especially with the fan that Taylor then had at her table. Like, it was clearly a deliberate message. Thank you so much, girl, for throwing us Easter eggs. I don't dare say this and get my hopes up, but are we finally getting an old Hollywood aesthetic from Taylor? You guys know I would die for that, but we haven't seen enough of the visuals for this yet. But oh my god. I saw someone on Twitter talk about how, you know, Reputation, the entire vibe of that was black and white, and that is when the world was black and white, we were in screaming color. That is when she was falling deeply in love. And this time we have a similar kind of black and white tone, yet maybe she was falling out of it. So this could kind of be the come down from that, the other side. And I think what we're probably all thinking is this might be the B-side to Midnights, the songs that were so vulnerable, so raw, not unlike You're Losing Me, that, you know, she wasn't ready to share yet. I was never in the camp that Midnights is a breakup album. I still don't believe that. I think Midnights has its theme, has its songs. Some of those are breakup songs, but you know, I believe Taylor when she says it's, you know, reflecting on sleepless nights. This one, however, could be a different story. This could be the album that people were waiting for. Now, possibly the most interesting thing about this entire album reveal and the limited amount of knowledge that we have so far comes back to the title. It is a department. A department is not just one person. That is a collective of people with a shared goal. And Taylor, as she's written, is the chairman. Could this perhaps be her first collaboration project? We saw at the Grammys, she was seated with other literal poets, Lana Del Rey, Jack Antonoff. What if we get them on this album in some form, along with Aaron Dessner, of course, but also possibly Phoebe Bridgers, a fellow ex-girlfriend of the Tortured Man Club. I mean, is this picture from like 2012 Tumblr not exactly the vibe? If this could be true, this album would break not only the internet, but like the world. Spotify, Apple Music included. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. I mean, A, if you think that that is possible or likely, and B, if so, who do you think we might see on there? I won't lie to you guys, part of me still believes we are getting 3 albums this year, one being The Poets, and then also Reputation and Debut. Taylor Swift has proven that she has more hours in the day, more days in a year than anyone else we know, and I think it's possible. So also when people were decoding the source code of Taylor's website when it was like down, had the error message, which by the way was intentional. I went over all of this on my Instagram story, but if you don't follow me, didn't see it. Taylor's website homepage had an error message, as in like you couldn't access the site, but it was a manufactured one. And within that source code to build that website, God, I feel like I'm coding my HTML for my MySpace page. We had words in different languages, which she's just reached a new level of like psychotic behavior. When translated into English, the words that we have are chairman, bruises, veins, cadence, apple cake, talisman, love bombs, news, ink, evidence, and fake. Now we already have seen some of these words appear in Taylor's, I don't know what we call it, announcement, accompanying intro words. I don't know, the post that she put alongside the album on her Instagram and Twitter. A lot of people are assuming that this could be the track list. I personally disagree. I don't think she would release the track list in that manner. I think we'll get it over time, but I do think they have significance, obviously. As we know, a couple of these words like chairman, evidence, ink, bruises, veins, you know, they're already in this writing segment that we've seen. The rest I would assume to be lyrics in the songs that we will eventually hear. Another fun little hint that we got from Taylor was this. The letter from Taylor where she essentially told us that TS11 was coming by capitalizing 11 T's, the same way that she used to communicate with us in the lyric booklets of her first 5 albums. And as usual, it was in front of us all along. Someone has also theorized that the outfit she's wearing on the album cover looks very similar to this tour rehearsal photo she shared. I know we say this a lot, but it really feels like this album is for the you're on your own kid, this is me trying mirrorball girlies. So I'm ready. I will say, this is me being fully honest and transparent. I am a little bit nervous that she's just way too smart for me and this album will go way over my head. I love studying English. I would have loved to have become an English teacher. It's kind of what I do sometimes on here. But this album feels like it's going to be a whole new level of depth and poetry. And so, guys, I will try my best. That is all I can say. Also very interesting when we think about the ending of Midnights being Dear Reader and then it leading into the Tortured Poets Department. Is that what the album is called? It's taking me a minute, honestly. I keep wanting to say Dead Poets Society, just like how Lover was almost called Daylight, which then led into Midnights. We now have Dear Reader leading into The Poets. Okay, so I would love to quickly go through the, again, I don't know what to call it, what Taylor wrote when she announced the album. It says, and so I enter into evidence my tarnished coat of arms, my muses acquired like bruises, my talismans and charms, the tick, tick, tick of love bombs. Wow, that's a great play on words. My veins are pitch black ink. Hold on. That doesn't fit a normal rhyming scheme. Okay. All's fair in love and poetry. Sincerely, the chairman of the Tortured Poets Department. You guys saw in my reaction video, I could not compute that that was the title of the album. It was just so different. God, I love seeing her handwriting so much. I especially love my veins of pitch black ink. It's like she can't even help herself but spill out these words. They are a part of her. She's been cut open and now it's all going to be exposed. Her stories are inherently a part of her, and now that she's been somewhat torn open, she'll be bleeding these words. Also kind of marking a crime that took place. Obviously, I think my tarnished coat of arms refers to her reputation. I suppose you could also look at that as like her love, her heart was tarnished, but that's just my take. I think coat of arms is your protection. So maybe it's like breaking down those walls. I also really love the confessional, almost threatening ending of all's fair in love and poetry. You know, a nod to all's fair in love and war. She's essentially saying there are no rules now. The time has come that she can stop playing fair, stop being nice, stop protecting someone else. And if that means finally telling us the side of the story that she had been holding in, God, I am so excited. I think the homework that I will set for you guys is just to go and watch Dead Poets Society, because when I spoke about this 2 weeks ago on my Instagram, which kind of weird manifestation, you guys are, you know, welcome for this brand new album that I have brought into existence. But yeah, a surprising amount of my followers had not seen it. It is one of my all-time favorite movies. I think I used to say it is my all-time favorite movie, but The Parent Trap also exists. So if you have not seen The Dead Poets Society, please go and watch it. I don't think it will bear much resemblance to this album, but you just need to have seen it anyway. Wow, I need people to talk to about this, so please leave all of your thoughts and theories and conspiracies and ideas and predictions in the comments. Mostly so I can respond to it, but also so we can come back to it in, you know, the following months and see who was right. I can't believe that we've lived through first like the Folklore Evermore drops on Instagram, seeing those happen in real time, the Midnight's announcement, watching that, then all of the re-recording announcements, watching those live on TikTok obviously, but now this. I also saw that she's been on Tumblr again tonight, so like she's just going back to her old ways, and I love that. Wow, this was a very different video to what I thought I'd be planning today. I honestly almost painted my nails black, and I mean, thank God I didn't, because this is so much more appropriate. I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but Taylor wore long black gloves at the Grammys, and after the announcement, or maybe it was before the announcement, she took the gloves off, revealing her white nails. Thank God she picked a color that we didn't already have an emoji heart assigned to, because that was going to be the biggest problem. Well, I better go. I would love to get this video up in the next few days, so I want to start working on it and just chatting to everyone. I am so unbelievably excited, still in disbelief, still don't understand if this is happening and that title is real, but oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Also guys, I'm seeing Taylor Swift next week. Not sure if you knew that or not. The Eras tour, it's just all happening. Well, I love you all so much, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.
Is this what it feels like?